What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years?
Listen, we raised children. You know.
Tom Cruise finally broke his silence about the one who got away. At 62, the Hollywood star admitted she was his true love all along. Not Nicole Kidman, not Katie Holmes, not Penelope Cruz. Their romance had been kept secret for years. While fans watched his public relationships fall apart, she stood by him through the turmoil of Scientology and the roller coaster of his career. When asked why he never spoke up before, Tom simply said, "I wasn't ready for the world to know." And the world still wonders, who really captured his heart forever? Born on July 3, 1962, in Syracuse, New York, Tom Cruise's real name was Thomas Cruise Mapother IV. His childhood was marked by hardship, an abusive father, a poor household, and constant relocation. He had 3 sisters, and by the time he turned 18, he had already attended 15 different schools. A new school almost every year meant new rules, no real friends, and a need to adapt. In 1971, his family moved to Ottawa, where 10-year-old Tom had his first experience with acting in a small school play. It wasn't much, but something clicked. Still, life wasn't stable. His mom left his dad and moved the kids back to the United States. He kept drifting from school to school, struggling academically. People thought he was lazy, but he just needed a different path. At 14, he entered a Catholic seminary in Cincinnati, dreaming of becoming a priest. That dream ended after a year, either due to another family move or an alleged incident involving stolen liquor. After being cut from his high school football team for drinking beer before a game, Tom auditioned for a school play, Guys and Dolls. That moment changed everything. On stage, he felt alive. The audience loved him. It wasn't just acting, it was becoming. In 1980, fresh out of high school, he moved to New York City with only $500. He worked as a busboy and porter while chasing auditions. He shortened his name to Tom Cruise and trained at the neighborhood playhouse, giving it everything he had. His big break came in 1981 with a minor role in Endless Love, which led to Taps. Originally cast as a background character, his performance impressed the director so much that his role was expanded. Then came The Outsiders in 1983. Though it wasn't a lead, it placed him among future stars. But it was Risky Business later that year that changed the game. Playing Joel Goodson, a high school senior who turns his home into a brothel, Cruise lit up the screen. The film grossed $63.5 million on a $6.2 million budget. The scene of him dancing in his underwear to Old-Time Rock and Roll became iconic. He earned a Golden Globe nomination and was no longer just promising, he was a star. Cruise distinguished himself from other young actors. He refused stand-ins, performed his own stunts, and stayed in character off-camera. He used unique techniques like color-coded scripts and audiobooks to overcome his dyslexia. In 1984, he turned down a $2 million offer to star in Footloose, instead choosing the fantasy film Legend, which flopped. Critics said he ruined his career, but Cruise didn't panic. In 1986, he skyrocketed to fame with Top Gun, where his role as Maverick made him a global icon. The film grossed $176 million and even boosted Navy recruitment. That same year, he took a riskier path, teaming up with Martin Scorsese for The Color of Money. Though it wasn't a blockbuster, it proved Cruise's acting chops as he held his own beside Paul Newman, who won an Oscar. In 1988, Cruise took a back seat in Rain Man, allowing Dustin Hoffman to shine. But Cruise didn't disappear. His performance was raw, grounded, and emotional. He improvised memorable scenes, including one in a phone booth where Hoffman passed gas, leaving Cruise's genuine reaction in the film. His most powerful moment came while reading his character's father's will. His pain and disbelief were palpable. Though Hoffman won the Oscar, Cruise's presence grounded the film. Everything changed in 1989 with Born on the 4th of July. Cruise portrayed real-life Vietnam veteran Ron Kovic, transforming into a broken, wheelchair-bound man. The role was brutal. He trained in a wheelchair for months and delivered a gut-wrenching performance. The film earned $162 million, won him a Golden Globe, and brought his first Oscar nomination. Audiences no longer saw just a movie star, they saw one of the best actors of his generation. Cruise, once a devoted Roman Catholic, encountered a turning point in 1986 when he met actress Mimi Rogers. They married on May 9, 1987. Rogers, a lifelong Scientologist whose father had been involved since the 1950s, introduced Cruz to the religion. Though the marriage ended in 1990, his bond with Scientology remained. He confirmed his involvement publicly in 1992, though it had already become a major part of his life. One reason he embraced Scientology was his lifelong battle with dyslexia. He claimed he was functionally illiterate upon graduating high school, reading made him anxious, and he felt unintelligent. Through Scientology's study technology, developed by founder L. Ron Hubbard, Cruz said he learned to read perfectly. It was a life-changing breakthrough. In 2016, promoting Jack Reacher 2, he stated, "I wouldn't be where I am without it. It's a beautiful religion. I'm incredibly proud." By then, he had been a Scientologist for over 30 years. His friendship with church leader David Miscavige began in the 1980s. According to Miscavige's father, the church once threw Cruz an elaborate welcome party at their Sea Org base in Florida, even transforming a pool to resemble a luxury sailboat and hiring Hubbard's personal chef. Still, Cruz arrived 4 hours late, setting the tone for a complex relationship with the church's hierarchy. Straight to bed, David was furious. This showed just how tense things could get between two of the most powerful figures in the Church of Scientology. Later, in 1999, Tom Cruise almost walked away. He reportedly got scared when church leaders promised to reveal details about Xenu, a mysterious alien figure in Scientology lore. He backed off, but the church didn't want to lose him. They sent Marty Rathbun, a top official, to bring him back. At work, Cruz returned and continued his studies. By the early 2000s, he wasn't just a follower, he became a fighter for Scientology. He began using his fame to push for it to be officially recognized as a religion, especially in Europe. In 2005, the Paris Council revealed that Cruz had directly contacted top French politicians, including Nicolas Sarkozy, but the effort backfired. French officials labeled him a militant spokesman for Scientology and severed all ties. Still, Cruz didn't stop. After the 9/11 attacks, he helped set up a group called Downtown Medical, which offered detox treatments to NYC rescue workers, though many doctors criticized it as pseudoscience. Nevertheless, in 2004, David Miscavige awarded Cruz the Scientology Freedom Medal of Valor for his dedication. As his role in the church expanded, Cruz tried bringing others in. Former Scientologist Paul Haggis revealed Cruz attempted to recruit big names like James Packer, the Beckhams, Jada and Will Smith, and even Steven Spielberg. These weren't casual conversations, they were real efforts to bring Hollywood power into Scientology. Around 1999, while filming Eyes Wide Shut, Cruz again stepped back from the church. The promised revelations about Xenu became complicated, but as always, he returned. Tom Cruise met Nicole Kidman in 1990 while filming Days of Thunder. He was 28, she was 23. Their connection was instant. Less than a year after finalizing his divorce from Mimi Rogers, Tom married Nicole on Christmas Eve in Telluride, Colorado. It was fast, intense, and full of hope. Nicole later admitted, "I was so young when I got married. I look back now and I'm like, what?" But at the time, they were all in. Nicole wanted children right away. She said, "From the minute Tom and I were married, I wanted to have babies." But early in their marriage, Nicole had an ectopic pregnancy. It was emotionally and physically devastating. The baby couldn't survive. That loss pushed them toward adoption. In 1992, they adopted their daughter Isabella, and in 1995, their son Connor joined the family. The kids traveled with them across movie sets, and for a while, they looked like the perfect Hollywood family. They even worked together on screen, starring in 1992's Far and Away, a big-budget historical drama that cost $60 million and earned $137.8 million globally. 7 years later, they teamed up again for something much darker, Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. It was supposed to take 6 months to shoot, but it took 2 years. Filming in England, Kubrick kept them isolated and often used personal details from their marriage in the story. Nicole said they'd go go-kart racing at 3 a.m. to blow off steam. She even said she would have stayed a third year if Kubrick had asked. But he died 4 months before the film was released. It was his final film, and one of the strangest either of them ever made. Behind the glamour, their life was difficult. That early pregnancy loss stayed with them. Nicole later said, "We lost a baby early on, so that was really very traumatic." Still, The adoption of Bella and Connor helped them heal. It wasn't the family they imagined, but it became the family they built. Then in February 2001, everything collapsed. Tom filed for divorce. Nicole didn't see it coming. Some reports say she was 3 months pregnant at the time, but tragically, she miscarried. The divorce was finalized in 6 months. The children stayed with Tom in Los Angeles. Nicole returned to Australia. The family was split. After the divorce, things changed fast. By 2012, sources said Isabella and Connor were closer to Katie Holmes, Tom's new wife, than to Nicole. Still, Isabella once said, "I love Mom. She's my mom. She's great. I see her sometimes and I speak to her." But the bond had clearly faded. It wasn't the life Nicole imagined when she first married Tom. During all this, Nicole was filming The Hours. Her heart was broken, but her performance was unforgettable. She won the Oscar. While the world applauded, she was quietly grieving. Years later, she said the divorce changed her. "Maybe I've become more fearful, but I always try to be as open as possible." In 1992, Tom Cruise stood toe-to-toe with Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men and didn't flinch. It wasn't just another courtroom drama, it became a career-defining moment. His cocky Navy lawyer lit up the screen, especially in the final showdown when he demanded the truth and Nicholson exploded. That scene alone made movie history. The film pulled in over $243 million worldwide and proved Cruise could go serious and still draw crowds. In 1994, he took an even bigger risk, playing a vampire. Not just any vampire, but Lestat, a seductive, dangerous immortal in Interview with a Vampire. Anne Rice, the book's author, hated the casting. She said Cruise was all wrong. But Cruise dove deep into the role, and when the film hit, Rice admitted she was wrong and even bought a full-page ad to apologize. The film became a hit, and Cruise showed he could take risks others wouldn't. By 1996, he wasn't just acting, he was producing. Mission Impossible wasn't just a blockbuster, it was his. With an $80 million budget and $457 million return, Cruise even did the wire-hanging stunt himself. Audiences weren't just watching Cruise, they were watching what he'd do next. That same year, he flipped the script with Jerry Maguire. No stunts, just heart. Show Me the Money wasn't just a line, it became part of pop culture. The film earned $273 million and Cruise his second Oscar nomination. He wasn't chasing stardom anymore. He was the star. Just when people thought they had him figured out, he changed direction again. In 1999's Magnolia, Cruise played Frank T.J. Mackey, loud, broken, emotionally wrecked, hiding behind macho speeches. He didn't ask audiences to like him. He dared them to watch him. With just 20 minutes of screen time, he stole the movie, earned another Oscar nomination, and won a Golden Globe. Critics who once doubted him now praised his courage. Around this time, his personal life again took center stage. In 2000, while filming Vanilla Sky, he met Penelope Cruz. Their chemistry was instant, but they kept quiet until his divorce from Nicole was final. By 2001, the couple was everywhere. Red carpets, vacations, glowing interviews. Behind the scenes, Tom was smitten. He cooked for her, planned surprises, and even considered proposing. But something wasn't right. Tom struggled to connect with his kids, and he kept talking about Nicole. The relationship began to crack. In 2004, they split. The public reason? Conflicting schedules. But insiders said it had more to do with Scientology. After his breakup, something strange happened in Tom Cruise's life. According to former Scientologists, the Church of Scientology made it their mission to find Cruise a new girlfriend, but not in any typical way. It was a controlled operation. Women within the church were audited, unknowingly being vetted as potential partners for Cruise. It wasn't about love, it was about maintaining image, loyalty, and control. As the public face of Scientology, the church did everything to keep Cruise satisfied, even customizing his cars and converting an airplane hangar into a private retreat. One of the darkest stories involved Nazanin Boniadi, a young, intelligent, and devoted church member. But her loyalty wasn't enough. She was forced to change her hair, her style, and her entire life to suit Cruise's preferences. When she made a small mistake, struggling to keep up with the rapid-fire commands of a high-ranking church leader, Cruise exploded, screaming, pounding the table. 2 weeks later, she was abruptly dumped without any conversation. Boniati eventually left the church and rebuilt her life as an actress, but neither she nor Cruz ever publicly addressed the incident, though insiders confirmed it. Then came Katie Holmes. In April 2005, just 33 days after ending her previous engagement, Holmes appeared in Rome with Cruz. She was 26, he was 42, and the press quickly dubbed them Tomcat. Holmes had once said it was her dream to marry Cruz. Suddenly, they were glowing for cameras, hand in hand. But whispers spread, about Scientology chaperones, about how fast everything was moving. Holmes no longer looked like the spirited girl from Dawson's Creek, she seemed lost. Then came the infamous couch incident. On May 23, 2005, during an interview with Oprah to promote War of the Worlds, Cruz derailed the conversation, jumping on the couch, shouting, dropping to one knee, and shaking Oprah's hands. The audience clapped awkwardly. Viewers at home were unsure if they were witnessing genuine emotion or a public breakdown. The clip went viral before going viral was even a thing. Studios panicked. Paramount reportedly lost up to $50 million. Women who had long admired Cruz suddenly backed away. In mere minutes, Hollywood's golden boy became a punchline. Though he was still a top earner, Forbes had ranked him as Hollywood's highest-paid actor in 2006 with $67 million in a single year. His image was too risky. That same year, Paramount Pictures ended its 14-year partnership with him, citing damage to his reputation. While Mission Impossible 3 earned $390 million, it paled in comparison to War of the Worlds' $591 million just a year prior. Cruz needed a serious comeback, and in 2008, he delivered one by mocking himself. In Tropic Thunder, he played Les Grossman, a loud, bald, foul-mouthed studio boss. The transformation, complete with prosthetics and absurd dance scenes, shocked audiences and worked. People laughed with Cruz again. He followed that success with a shift in the Mission Impossible franchise. In 2011's Ghost Protocol, Cruz performed jaw-dropping stunts, including climbing the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, at 2,722 feet in 79 miles per hour winds. The risk paid off. The film grossed nearly $700 million and reignited his action star reputation. In 2015, Rogue Nation saw him cling to a plane during takeoff. No green screen, no stunt double. He was 52. Insurance companies balked, forcing the studio to take out a $50 million policy just for that scene. Cruz wasn't just back, he was redefining what it meant to be an action star. In 2017's Fallout, he broke his ankle leaping between buildings in London. Still, he finished the shot. The injury shut down production for 2 months and cost $80 million, but his resilience became legend. During the 2023 filming of Dead Reckoning, he suffered a torn shoulder, cracked ribs, and another broken ankle, but he powered through. While many actors rushed to streaming during the pandemic, Cruz held firm, insisting that Top Gun: Maverick be released in theaters. When it finally premiered in 2022, it exploded at the box office, raking in $1.5 billion worldwide, becoming the highest-grossing film of the year and earning Cruz nearly $100 million. The film received a standing ovation at Cannes and an honorary Palme d'Or, with some critics calling it better than the original. Yet behind this triumphant return was a quieter story, about his daughter, Suri. After his 2012 divorce from Katie Holmes, Cruz reportedly stopped seeing her. Their last known contact was in 2013, when she was just 7. In 2024, Suri turned 18 and dropped the Cruz surname. She now goes by Suri Noel, taking Holmes's middle name, and is heading to Carnegie Mellon University. Former Scientologists speculate the church's disconnection policy played a role. Because Holmes left Scientology, she may have been labeled a suppressive person, and Suri, by association, a potential trouble source, prompting Cruz to sever ties. Meanwhile, he remains in contact with his adopted children from his marriage to Nicole Kidman, Connor and Isabella, who stayed within the church. But Suri is gone from his life. Now, in 2025, rumors are swirling again. At 62, Cruz has been spotted multiple times with actress Ana de Armas. It started with a quiet Valentine's Day dinner in London. Then she was seen at a heliport with her dogs, boarding Cruz's private chopper. Days later, the pair left David Beckham's birthday party together at 3 a.m., trying to avoid paparazzi. While People magazine claims they're just friends, the photos suggest a deeper connection. Both stars are single, both are in the spotlight, and the buzz isn't dying down.